So, see before us, this is a. These are the electronics that drive a Japanese arcade monitor. And as you can imagine, these things are old, right? These things are. This thing, I think it was made in '96. So we're just 2 years shy of being 30 years old here. So this thing is super old. Oh, so I'm going to go ahead. Since this is not my normal format here, I'm just going to bring YouTube up on here. And then I think if I watch this video, there we go. I can see the live chat. I better mute that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So for tonight, I don't think I will be doing the soldering iron tonight. What I do have going on though is you can see we got several subboards. This one, that are glued on there. I'm not sure if this is a subboard here. But yeah, these have kind of like a I want to say it's like a silicone glue, right? So we're going to see what we can do about getting those out and take it from there. Handy dandy tweezers. I got a feeling I'm going to be these a little bit. Come on now. This is like playing Operation. There we go. Okay. So there's nothing really to distinguish. Okay, here we go. What I really wish I had, I don't have. Good exacto. So righteous, right? I'm just gonna take all my tools out. I don't think I'll need my picks. And take every one of my tools out here. And these are just bits. I don't think there's gonna be, well, maybe the screw bits will be useful somewhat. I do remember that used to have it used to have an X-Acto knife in there, but it doesn't look like it's got anything right now. So I'm going to work on this one first. That one I can get to pretty easy. I think I'll start by getting this control panel out of the way. Okay, I'm just going to document these plugged in. Looks a lot more straightforward than I initially saw. way, and there is a single screw for getting into that. I need a screwdriver. Grab a screwdriver. We will be needing. Ah. Ooh, that is in there good. Got it. Now this one, this one plugged into the board for now. I think. Doesn't look like it'll let me. Okay. So this absolutely has to come off, but for now, this is out of the way, which is good for me. Here. Oh, that went beautifully. Came off just nice. The other side. That may be enough. I'm just going to give this just a wee bit of jiggle in here. There we go. Beautiful. You know, this thing probably has not been lifted off the board in a very, very long time. And these are keyed pretty well. I don't think I'm going to confuse where these go afterwards. So, all right, on to the next bit. That out of the way. Comes off a little bit easier. Good. So afterwards, I can just use a glue gun to get this back in place. Stuff is just there to hold it in place. Okay. That board's out of the way. Last but not least, we got this guy. You know, this is going a lot quicker than I expected it to, so I may have to go and start replacing caps on this thing. Maybe not. We'll see. There's a number of reasons why I wanted to recap this. You know, the main reason was, you know, preserving it, of course, but there was some issues I had with the geometry not quite doing what it's supposed to do. So we're gonna tweak things a bit if we can. That side's in there good. I don't want to yank too hard. So let's see how well we can get this freed up. There we go. There we go. That should free it. What a mess. Okay. Those guys out of the way. Now, next bit of components I want to take off here is neckboard assembly. I'm not sure if that disconnects though. I mean, there is this bit of metal here, but I don't know if that's really supposed to be something that you can take off. I guess that's what Google's for, right? Assembly. How to replace a neckboard socket? Fly back.
Alright guys, we're going to do a quick...
Okay, so I'm looking at this flyback replacement video, and it looks like, yeah, that stuff's supposed to stay. So we're not going to mess with that stuff at all. Well, maybe. Let's see. So I see the anode, which is this piece here, right? Yeah, so we're not going to mess with that. I think we will leave that alone. All right. All right, so let's get the rest of this greasy stuff out now. I thought maybe this would have been some type of a daughter board like the other, but it's not. It's in this plastic case. I'm going to leave it in that plastic case. I think I'm just going to go ahead and remove the screws on the outside. Now, is it only two, or is there a third one? I would have put a third one. That's just me, right? I'm not the engineer that created this board. All right. So it's just the two. But it does look like at some point I will have to take it out of this plastic. I'll double check that. That will be a lot of fun. Let's see here. Yeah. So far, the very first capacitor I check, blocked by this plastic here. This capacitor here, which I know is going to have to be replaced, is blocked by the plastic. So all this is going to have to be taken out. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's got to come up. Now, there is another way that I could do this repair, or this, I don't know if you want to call it a repair, but there is another way I could do this, which would be to just rip the capacitors out from the top and then solder the legs on, which is not very easy to do. I will definitely be washing this. Now, one thing I know about this stuff here is it's this white stuff that they use to kind of glue things in. One thing I've seen with it before, and I don't know if the stuff in here is the same, but one thing I've seen is it's actually alcohol soluble, which means doing things like I'm doing here, there is a chance spray alcohol on that stuff, and it basically turns into whiteout, turns into paint. This could go so much easier with the impact driver, but we're not. All these screws are same size, which is great because I hate it when they make shit different sizes and having to remember exactly what goes where. Another reason I'm doing this video is so that way I can go back later. I can see what happened. Note to self, nothing bad has happened yet. So, on these heat sinks, there's a couple of hex-headed screws, a little bit thicker than the other circuit screws that we've been removing so far. Ooh, man, that's a good workout for the wrist. Now, did this start wiggling? Did I see right? Did this start wiggling as soon as I... a little bit. Not enough to write home about just yet. Alright, let's put this neck board over here. We're going to rotate this. So there are a couple of screws here. And this board is kind of loosey-goosey. I got a feeling that when I undo this last screw here, it's going to release. Oh, that one was easy too. That one was nice and easy. So I believe this is the degaussing circuit. What all can I remove from here? Let's see. Not that. I can remove two things from here. But then it looks like they just go straight to something else on the other side. So, gonna get me. Over. And let's double check. This red line. Okay. You know, that actually goes to a plug. That goes to another plug. So let's take pictures of these plugs and let's see if. Dude, this is so scary. I've never done anything like this. Plug this guy back in here. Okay. Easy. One small 3 conductor. It's here. Okay, easy. Easy peasy. So, if I remember right, the degauss coil plugs into these guys here. And when you turn the monitor on, that's going to send some magic smoke through the degauss coils. But magic smoke out. You never want to let the magic smoke out. Okay, moving around the board some more. Let's see. So this is interesting here. This right here, if you want it, so right now it's set to 15 kilohertz, but there's a switch on the control panel that you press, and then you move this yoke over to here, and that lets you do 31. Is that right? No, 24 kilohertz, which is medium resolution. All right, so it looks like got all the screws around removed. I do not see anything in. It looks like this thing's going to lift out and come this way. God, that is dusty. So, in the very least tonight, we will be cleaning this board. We get some plastic spudging tools, and we're going to lift it. You know what? We could lift it. Plastic spudging tool. Oh, one more screw. Look at that. One more sneaky screw. Hey. You know what? I'm gonna share this with some guys really quick. Right back. Uh, doesn't really back in. Will be neat. Okay. So with all those screws removed, now it's time to see if we can lift this board out of here. Very gently. This is all old plastic. Working with old plastic kind of gets crusty after a while. Boy, it is really stuck on right here. This corner pops up nicely, right? This corner I'm not having much issue with, but this corner, man. So maybe I am going to need additional spudgy tools. Guy out. We're getting this guy. Yeah, it just really feels stuck on this side. Let's see, do I Laddie? I do. Here, Adam. Nice, Jesus. It almost feels there's another screw I missed. It doesn't look like this time this flyback was replaced either. I'm looking at it. It's cracked. Hmm. It looks like some repairs were done while it was in the plastic here. Let's see if we can get this thing out. Where's the other one at? There it is. Oh, there is screws on the bottom. Well, good thing I didn't go ham on grabbing it. There's actually some screws down at the bottom of the flyback. So it looks like there used to be 3 screws on this thing. Somebody went too ham, broke off one of the legs, and now there's only 2. It would be nice to get another flyback for this thing. I don't really feel that other one doing much movement. Yeah, that one's got kind of a broken leg on it too. So this flyback's got 2 broken legs. Only one of the legs was not broken. So yeah, somebody was in here before me. So let's go ahead and see if we can poke that out from the top, because it's not coming on its own. Oof. Well, it was broken anyways. All right. It feels like still might be stuck somewhere. I want to be careful yanking on that fly back. All those holes are now good. Another screw right here, but that's not attached to anything. So that should be fine. That's fine. Man, this screw here, this is a rough ass screw. All right. Let's do this. We're going to stand this up this way. And press in places, try and out a bit. Okay. That side's free. Side's almost there. Ow. It just feels like PCB itself is just kind of warped in there. There we go. We got it. We got it. Ooh, boy. Hell yeah. Okay. So I know the cap kit came with a list of what should be replaced. Then I also bought some larger filter caps that didn't come with the kit, just to be thorough, right? Take a look. Now I am gonna clean this whole fucking board because it just looks nasty. We got 7, 8, 9, 11, 15, 16, 17, 20, 34, 41, 42, 43, 48, 53, 54, 56, 57, 51, 51, and then 64 capacitors to replace on this fucking guy. So if you look here, got the main chassis, right? The neck PCB, the daughter PCBs. Why does that one daughter PCB have so many? I bet you anything that's the one I was having trouble with. I bet you this is it. I bet you this daughter board. Oh no, that's the main chassis. Okay. So the daughter boards don't have that much. It's the main chassis that's got like shit tons on it. And the neck board's got a few, but it's got like 4. Neck board's got like what? What do we got here? 1, 2, 3. I don't know where 4 is. There somewhere. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4. Okay. 4. All right. Well, now it's time for stage 2 of this. We need to start cleaning things. So bear with me here. I'm going to be finding my isopropyl alcohol and getting some Q-tips. And then we're going to go over this thing and just clean the living bears out of it. Oh. Isopropyl spray. I actually have a can of ISO somewhere. I don't know where it is. But there's nothing wrong with using water. So actually the duster's doing a pretty sweet job of things cleaned up here. So probably what I'm gonna do tomorrow or tonight, I need to make a holder for this board because this is a heavy board. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Got to test if this rubbery glue stuff here melts with ISO. Let's see. No. It's pretty stable with ISO. Alright. What about the traces? Traces are good. There are some things coming off the board. So I may in fact dilute this with a lot of water. Now, I'm sure some purists will go, oh no, you're only supposed to use deionized water. Well, that's true. And less of a risk of bad shit happening when you use DI. On the other hand, I'm letting this. This is probably going to be unplugged for weeks on end. So I'm not all that concerned. Get the neck board too, because the neck board loves a little wash. And look at all that gunk. Probably should have aired this one first, but doesn't really matter. Look at all that gunk coming off this. So we want to put the least amount of pressure on those solder joints on the flyback transformer. So we are going to, and I already see a bad cap. Looks bloated like a dead body. Come here. There we go. What I'm going to do here, spray. I think it would have been better in the other direction. Yeah, let's do it that way. Because I need to have there. Need to have a way to let the water drain off. It's actually water and ISO, but tell you one thing, this board is smelling fresh. All right. Backside. Yeah, look at just that line of gunk that washed off this thing. I said it's going to be weeks before this thing even gets plugged back in, so a little bit of non-DI ain't going to kill it. Back. That dirty this thing was. I think I kind of cleaned it once before with the canned air, but I didn't give it a deep cleaning. So every Q-tip comes up like this, man. Every single one. It's funny because I've been hanging out in a Discord. Guys do RGB mods to consumer TV sets. And here I was sitting on an RGB monitor. Ain't that something? I'm definitely going to need something to help me see this board a little bit better. Start getting down and dirty because my eyes aren't what they. I can't believe I got myself into 64 caps plus some filter caps. Probably 70 caps altogether is what I'm replacing on. Either I really love this system or I'm fucking crazy. To be honest, when this candy cab is running and it's got the right software on it and everything is running on it, fucking great. It really is. Now, if I plug this thing in right now, I'm positive. I am 100% certain we would let the map. Right now, so we're just going to clean it, wait a couple days, then we're going to start tearing into these boards one by one. Main board, though. There's parts of it almost look like they're fried, right? Okay. Well, that's about all I feel like doing for that. I forgot. Did we get the bottom damped? I think we did. It's so crazy because there's all these fucking jumpers and shit, and just fucking weird shit on this board, right? Like, we got a capacitor just sitting in the middle of nowhere. A few more fucking ceramic caps. Got a resistor. I don't know if that's a resistor or a diode. It does look like a resistor, just kind of fucking hanging out here. Yeah, this is one gangly fucking monitor. All right. This diaper's soaked. Yes, as people have better things to do on a Saturday night. Watch some old guy fuck around with circuit boards, right? Okay. All right. That is pretty nifty. Board here. Give it some quick wipe down. Wherever it might need it. Overall, it looks pretty clean. Neck board does. Even wiping it, it's not getting filthy. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is some dirt on here, but it's not as bad as the main board was. Maybe that's because it sits like this, right? Where the main board sits like this and the dust just comes down. And here it's just going to collect on a few different places. Okay, Mr. Neckboard. Let's get everything else back in this place. We're going to push this forward and we're going to start working and cleaning up the other boards a bit. Out of the way. 2 clean ones left. Two clean ones. What's crazy is I'm looking at this, right? And look, it's I think it's warped from the heat, right? I think that warped the board too. I think this thing had been sitting in there so long that it actually grew a curve to it. So I don't know. I may put this on a flat surface, take the heat gun to it, just go over it very slowly, try and get it back to flat. See how that goes. That was a real pain in the ass to get out. All right, this is still dry. Hey, sweetheart, what's going on? Yeah? Okay. Hey, I'm working on that arcade machine. So I'm doing a full restore on it. Where the CRT monitor, I'm replacing these parts called capacitors on it. And then I'm taking it completely apart. You can see it's all apart over there. And I'm going to take it to a paint shop and have them paint it, give it a fresh coat of paint, make it look shiny and new. Yeah. Because you guys always like that thing. I always like that thing. Maybe mommy didn't like it so much, but I think she knows now that it ain't going. Yeah. Alrighty. Get out of here. Alright. So I'm probably going to get the manual for this thing tonight and read up on it. I think that would be my best course of action next. Find out what does what, right? I'm really curious what each of these daughter boards do. I got a feeling that I already know, right? Like this is a color adjustment right here, and there seems to be some kind of a jungle chip on it. Which actually, look at that jungle chip. I don't think it's a jungle chip at all, because a jungle chip would imply that it is doing some sort of on-screen display, and it's not. So it's a Mitsubishi chip. 51387P. 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 Five one seven eight. Five. Brushless motor controller. What? I must have typed in the wrong. 513 51387 51387P. 51387. There it is. Video amplifier. Ah. Okay, so this is definitely. ECCN. I can't read that, but let me download datasheet here. You know, I bet you anything, this was the only thing I really had to replace caps on. Because I'm looking at the datasheet for this chip. Well, no, I take that back. This is just. This doesn't deal with any of the geometry. So the geometry must be on a different board because that's going to be. Yeah, H size, H position, all that stuff. That's going to probably be. I would say this board here. It's either going to be this very first board, right? But I'm pretty sure it's not this because this is your brightness and contrast and all that fun stuff. Or it's going to be this one, which I am not positive on. So this is a Hitachi A11423. Yep, deflection signal processor. So this is it. Other than a little bit of dirt on the back of this one doesn't need a lot done to it. Still. V hold, V size, V position, all that stuff is taken care of by the deflection. That's not something in. I should have aired this first. That's not something in the video amp processor. This video amp processor is just going to do red, green, and blue brightness. That's it. Now there's a flip side to this. There's another way of getting brightness out of TVs and monitors, and that's with the flyback transformer. There. Wiping this one down right away because I don't want to get rust on here. What's interesting about this one, going to be a pain in the ass, is there is a shield on this. So that's going to be fun. That's very strange how they did this. So this capacitor, pull up to this capacitor, it's got one long leg going this way, one long leg going that way. That's what I was saying. This thing's kind of weird the way they did it. See, look on the back of here. You got resistors just kind of hanging out. Strange resistors were invited to the party. Last but not least, this daughter board, this one's hella dirty. Even some of that dirt off using this. Okay. I'm not too worried about cleaning up. Although I may want to see if I can replace these pots. Here, there, just gently take them apart and use some deoxit on them. Let's go ahead and hose this down as well. not least, degauss board. Ooh, the can is freezing the water in the paper towel. All right. Yeah, this degauss board is absolutely filthy. Okay, well, that does it for tonight, boys and girls. We'll be back at this in the next couple of days just to start replacing some caps. Yeah, there's not much more dirt to get off this thing. I mean, there is and there isn't, right? Woo! Man, this thing is gonna be a fucking bear to get through. So let's start looking at some of these other filter caps we got here. These are all going on the main board there. That one's 105 degrees. These should all be 105 degrees. Trying to read what the rating is. This one 470 UF. I should have one in here. It's 470 UF. 1200. The other thing too is these have all gotten a lot smaller. Nichikan. They're very nice. It doesn't say. Oh, here we go. 470. So yeah, that one's going to go here. Oh, this is a 200 volt 220 UF. You know, it's the same size as this guy. I'm going to bet it's that guy. I just can't read what's on there right now. That guy. Probably that guy. God, this thing. And then some of these I bought, they might just be extra, right? I don't even fucking know. There we go. This one is 150 volt, 1200 UF. Or no, yeah, 160 volt, 1200 UF. Probably this can here. Gone. Yep. 200 volt, 1200 UF, but this is what's going to go there. That's definitely the replacement for that guy. This guy, I can barely. There we go. 200 volt, 220 UF. There's some, probably this neckboard one, I'm going to say. Or no, I bet the neckboard one's in the kit there. Ooh, it's gonna be an adventure. Alright, guys. It's late. I'm gonna end this stream and have a bowl of ice cream. So, good night.